Hello, ladies. I think everyone is here. So we will go ahead and get started. How's everyone doing tonight? Good. Great to hear it. Okay, so we will get started. I just want to first welcome everyone for joining. I am excited to have you be in the dropshipping series. And throughout this presentation, please feel free, and throughout the course of the weeks, feel free to email me with your questions. I will, of course, get to all your questions tonight that you have. No question is stupid because I definitely didn't know what I was doing at first when going into drop shipping. So please feel free to ask me your questions. What we will do is just go over the program overview for the next 4 weeks. I'll give you an introduction to dropshipping. And if you looked at the multiple streams live or the 8-part dropshipping series, it'll cover of some of those things already. But just to reiterate what dropshipping is, the pros and cons, and then there's some additional information. We will go through common dropshipping mistakes. We'll talk about finding your niche, creating your customer profile, and then a brief introduction to the Shopify platform. Even though actually everyone who's on tonight signed up for the Done For You services, even though I'll take care of most of it for you, I still want you to be aware just in case you have questions later or you need to change something right away once the site is turned over to you. So let's get started. Again, what you'll learn over the course of the 4 weeks is strategies and hacks that you need to know so you can avoid costly mistakes. There were some things that I should have learned in the beginning, which I will teach you so you will not have to navigate around the uncertainty for dropshipping. Then next week, we'll talk about product positioning. We'll talk a little bit about products, and you'll see in your homework that it will have like what types of products that you're looking to have in your store. And that way I can research some of the vendors that I know of to see exactly what they offer to give you a better idea of what you can have in your store. During week 3, we'll talk about mogul marketing, having a good marketing campaign for your lunch, and then also a lunch plan, or excuse me, a strategy plan after you have sales to keep it consistent. That's where I also messed up in the beginning for any of my streams not having a solid marketing plan. Also, the final week is setting up your shop. We'll again go back into the Shopify platform. We'll talk about certain apps and features that you need in your store, as well as some extra features that you might want to incorporate in your store. There's so many. So when you have time, I would definitely explore the App Store, but I'll let you know the process for that. Now, again, drop shipping is a retail fulfillment method. And basically, what it is when the customer comes to your store to buy, you ship or give the order to the supplier, and the supplier ships the product to your customer. And that way, you don't have to worry about shipping, nor do you have to worry about having inventory in your store, which is what I love about it because you might have heard me say before that up until this year, I had inventory from a previous boutique that I was no longer interested in running. And that was about 5 to 6 years ago. So I love having no inventory in my house to clutter it up. So that's the perfect thing about drop shipping. With drop shipping, there are different products. This does not even capture all of the items. I saw that they were even selling iPhones, but I'm not sure about if I want to go into that. But if it works for people, hey. But you can do hair extensions and wigs, clothing, accessories, custom products, home decor, and beauty products. I was interested to see one of the vendors is AliExpress, and it was interesting to see like one of their facial steamers. I think it was like $18 to $20, and I paid about $60 or something on Vanity Planet for, even though they were different, it was similar. So sometimes I just look at wholesale or retail companies sideways now that I know the backstory behind drop shipping. Some of the pros are that they have, of course, low startup cost, no inventory needed. There are sales channel alternatives, so you can connect it to to eBay. You can connect it to your Facebook page. You can connect it to Instagram, Amazon. Which with Amazon there is an additional fee, but we'll talk about that later. But it is great because you can access all of their clients or their customers, and you can also produce your own design. So if you want to do T-shirts, have mugs and notebooks, that's also an option as well. Some of the cons are the longer shipping times, which they're getting a little bit better. So it depends on your products. That's why I really want to know what products you offer so we can try to find ways to mitigate the shipping time. There is a low barrier to entry. So since it's not a lot of startup cost, no inventory needed, that does mean more competition, but that's not always a bad thing. Vendor prices may increase, which most times is not a significant amount, but still it is something that should be monitored. And usually you cannot brand your own products. The vendor will just send it in a regular looking package. And sometimes they'll send it if the customer orders more than one product, they might ship it in two different packages. But I haven't really found that to be a problem for most customers. So here are some common dropshipping mistakes. And again, feel free to ask me questions at any time. I have the chat right to my right, so I'm going to keep an eye on that. Number one is having an unrealistic income expectation and giving up early. While dropshipping is a lucrative business, it sometimes does take time to establish your presence, to let people know about what you're selling, and then to market. And people tend to heavily rely on just one platform or social media, but your marketing strategy should incorporate a variety of strategies that are online and offline, which we'll talk about in week 3. Another mistake is a customer's lack of access to information. So think about when you order something online, you definitely want to know right away, when will it be there? What should I expect? And so just having the information there to track your information. So sometimes it can be difficult, but there are tools that we will talk about later that will help prevent that. Another mistake is not having a product description online. This is essential, one, because you want the customers to know exactly what they're getting, and two, you want Google and the other website analytics to be able to rank your website higher. So if you're going to Google and you type in shoes, or if you type a specific thing of shoes, you want to be at least on the first 2 pages when it comes to your search engine optimization. So having your product descriptions helps Google to recognize that, oh, maybe this website should be in the top 2 pages, if that makes sense. Now, another one is not having a sales funnel in place. And you might be aware of a sales funnel when you are going to a website and they say sign up for 10% off or sign up for this free offer. So that's the beginning of a sales funnel. When the sales funnel, as soon as you enter your email address, you'll probably receive a series of emails. So that's how you stay up to date with what that company offers. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. And that's also a part of the Done For You package. So you won't have to worry about that as much, but going forward, that is a great tool for any business that you are starting. Another mistake is having too few products, which makes your store look incomplete. So for me personally, I try to have at least 3 to 4 rows of products per category, but it just depends on personal preference too. It doesn't always make it look incomplete, but I do try to have at least several rows to fill out the page. Another mistake is poor branding on the website. Of course, brand aesthetics are not everything that makes up a business, but it is essential that that the customer has a sense of who you are and what your brand is about. Another mistake is not having money to fulfill the order. With dropshipping, sometimes your money, and it also depends on what platform what payment platform you choose. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. Sometimes you have to pay upfront for the order, and usually the order is like $6, $9. But you won't receive your money right away with Shopify payments. You have to wait for the payout. However, with PayPal, which is one of the options, you can pay right away. And you can also get the PayPal debit card to pay for the order, so you'll have access to the funds instantly. And then also with PayPal, you can get cash back. Any questions so far? Let me know. And while I'm waiting for those, if there are, I'm going to go through the next dropshipping mistakes. Another mistake is relying on one supplier. With AliExpress, there are, even though it's one website, they do have several suppliers within the website. And so you'll see several products, several similar products listed. They might be different prices. So it's really good to compare the different prices to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. A lot of dropshippers do not have a returns policy. That's one thing I should have paid attention to in the beginning. Even though I had one, at first I said no returns, but I should have changed that to being more flexible with the customer. Another mistake is miscommunication of shipping times. Customers sometimes do not read the fine print, or they don't see, even if it is in big print, they do not see the shipping times. And again, with drop shipping, sometimes it takes longer than usual. So you just always want to make it really clear, and in several places, just make sure that they are aware of the shipping times. Okay, so did I start with 3 to 4 rows of products? At what number is it too cluttered? There's not really a right or wrong amount. What I like to do is, again, it kind of goes back to the categories. If I see that, it's really not a right or wrong, because even when I'm on Boohoo, I go through all 30 pages, but not everyone's like me. I would say if they're scrolling past maybe 10 pages, they might lose their attention. But it's really, if you have really great products, it might not matter as much. It just depends on what you're offering. Okay, so next is selling trademarked items. Sometimes you'll find that some of the websites offer things that say Disney or some other big brand, but you can actually get in trouble for having their name on your specific product. Again, even artwork, that's a major thing to look out for. Okay, and the next is having no marketing plan, which we already talked about. Another is attempting to sell every item that you see. Sometimes, even me, I was looking again at AliExpress at all the different things that they offer. I was like, oh, wow, this would be interesting. So, but when you see the prices, you just want to make sure that you're keeping your target market in mind and making sure that the product aligns with your goals, your values, and the pain points, which we'll talk about later tonight. Make sure it aligns with with what they're looking for. One thing that hasn't really affected me, but I guess it has some drop shippers, is not taking into account the holidays in China, such as the Lunar New Year. I don't know the other ones because, again, it hasn't really impacted me, but sometimes they do shut down the warehouse. Yes, AliExpress and Alibaba is similar. With AliExpress, you can buy one product at a time, but I think Alibaba, one of them owns the other. I can't remember which one, but they are similar. Well, they're in the same family. And then we'll also talk about other vendors as well, and it also depends on what you offer. Another mistake is not developing a relationship with your supplier. Even though sometimes you can't really brand your products fully, sometimes I've heard of stories where the suppliers, if you have so many amount of orders and then you keep constant communication, a healthy communication, they do package your products more carefully. So it is important to have that relationship, and in that way, if something comes up, an issue comes up, you have that contact already instead of having to establish it at the last minute. And then finally, offering various shipping rates. The suggested rule is to offer a flat rate or free shipping. And I've leaned more so, and I have to change it in my own store to free shipping. And what you do is most times you won't have to pay for shipping, but for the other vendors that I found, they might have like a $5, $7 shipping fee. All you have to do is add that cost to your product. But free shipping, no matter the price, always looks attractive to the customer. Oh, good. I'm glad that's good to know. So here are my top mistakes, which we've talked about a little bit already, but here's some more. One was not taking advantage of the educational resources on Shopify, which will be your website platform, and Oberlo. So Oberlo connects AliExpress to Shopify. When they first started, they had so many other suppliers like Frame and Optic, which is a sunglasses supplier, but I think they've made the switch completely to AliExpress. So we'll, as within the next few weeks, we'll discuss other suppliers that may work for you as opposed to Herberlo, but that's the main site that I use. And actually, I need to pull that up because I want to show you the inside of that as well. And also not learning about the various sales channels. Again, I mentioned that you can sell on Amazon, eBay, Facebook, Instagram, etc. So that way you can, while you're developing your Instagram page or whatever social media platform you choose, because again, it just depends on your target market, you're able to connect your store no matter what you choose. Not diversifying my marketing tactics and not being consistent, which led to lack of sales. So that kind of tied into my marketing tactics, but I wasn't consistent. Some of you know that I have a lot on my plate, so it wasn't really my top concern. So that, of course, led to lack of sales. And not researching various dropshipping suppliers in the beginning. So even last week, when I was preparing for the presentation to make sure that I'm up on the latest trends, I found some more dropshipping suppliers that I had not heard about in the beginning. So I was like, oh, wow, wish I had known about this earlier. So that is one thing I wish I had known, because I do have trust issues when it comes to some suppliers, but I did actually find some legit dropshipping suppliers. So always just do your research. That's the key takeaway. When you want to find your niche, you want to have a niche that is well proven to generate profit. So a key question people ask is, should I follow my passions or should I follow the money? And the answer is it should be a mixture of both. It might not, and sometimes your niche might not be something that you're interested in, but you just should at least have knowledge of it. So if you have something in mind already, here are some ways that you can find out if it's popular. You can use Google Trends. You can look at Amazon reviews. So just type in the particular product you're looking for and see what people are saying about it. Then you can also see what customers expected from the product, and that can help you make some decisions in what you choose for your website. You can, of course, look at eBay. So similar to Amazon, just look at the reviews. You can look at Etsy. Sometimes they'll have in the particular store's bestseller as a label, and so you can see what people are buying. You can look at Google Keyword Planner, and it tells you like how many people are searching this particular subject line. And then also Pinterest. So when you're finding a niche, again, start with products that you're interested in or have experience with. Find products that provide opportunity and think about the target market that you are serving, which we'll talk about. So again, I mentioned that earlier that demand and competition is not always a bad thing, even though we might say a saturated market, but competition shows that a market is viable. And again, with you can measure demand through Google Trends again, and then also social media hashtags. So one thing you can do is if you have Instagram or Facebook, hashtag the product you're searching, looking to have in your site, and you can see how many people have use that hashtag lately. You can go to, if you know your competition already, you can go to their page and look at how their audience or customers are engaging with them as well. And then also, here are some sites, and I will be sending the replay to you as well as the slides. So if you need to look over this again, you have access to both. So Alexa.com scopes out top competitors to view website traffic. And why would you want to look at website traffic? Do you want to see how popular this particular store is? And then if it is a popular store, you can look at how they are marketing to their particular clients. So it's good to see what your competitors are doing, not to copy them, but to see how you can incorporate some of their marketing tactics in your plan. Also, similarweb.com shows traffic of competition. It also shows the source of traffic. So with me, and it's also similar to like Google Analytics, which um, we'll talk about a little bit later and once we get to the website portion of it, but it shows where the customer has logged in from, whether it's on their phone or website. I get to see whether they have come from Instagram or Facebook. So that way it also helps you to know where you should rely heavily your marketing tactics. BuzzSumo tells you the page with the most shares on your competitors' sites. So if you go to a website, you'll probably usually see like a Facebook share or other. Can you not hear me? Let's see. Hold on 1 minute. One second. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, so you can hear me. Okay. Just one moment. Let's see if the refresh will work. Okay. Okay, good. If I need to repeat anything on this page, let me know. I don't know where I might have cut off. Okay. So looking at their social media again, you can check for engagement. Oh, no, you're fine. No, I want to make sure that I know technology can be tricky, especially with everyone logging in virtually now. So feel free to stop me anytime. Okay, next we will talk about the customer profile. And customer profile is a persona with characteristics based on the customer's demographics, psychographics, and interest. So we're going to break it down. So with demographics, it's discussing ethnicity, gender, age, education, profession, occupation, income level, and marital status. With psychographics, it's what are their attitudes, aspirations, and other psychological criteria. The media and communication is how do they like to communicate? So is it by mail? Believe it or not, people still do like to receive mail. Is it by email? Is it through Facebook, Instagram, etc.? And TikTok, of course, is becoming popular. So is it that way as well? Their purchasing behavior. What do they like to buy and how often? And what does your customer like to do? So I'll give you a moment to look at that. But again, I will be sending out the slides so you don't have to write everything down. Okay, and we're going to do an example. So this is my store, the Jet Set Mogul profile. I've made the name Nina for my customer profile just to give it some more personality. So the age range is 25 to 34. She is a young professional or entrepreneur. Her income is about 24,000 to 38,000, but it could be more or less, but it's always just good to know who you're targeting. Of course, she's a female. She lives in the urban city. She loves to travel. She likes to look expensive on a budget. She considers herself a micro socialite and loves to hang out with friends. Her values are being economical and looking her best on vacation and at events. Also, her pain points are that she finds it hard to find affordable luxe fashion, and she wants to find quality swimsuits and accessories, and again, on a budget. So when you're looking at your customer profile, you also want to think about the objections that the person may have. So one of the objections would be she might object to longer shipping times, especially if she's going out to travel. It wouldn't be a problem right now. She would probably be patient to wait. but in normal circumstances, she would object to longer shipping times. And then also because she might prioritize other expenses like bills, family, and what other things are going on in her life. And so, for those who do not know the Jet Set Mogul, I do swimsuits, accessories, and sunglasses. So that's the target market for that based off of the products. So now we will get into why Shopify. I'm going to pause for a minute to see if you have any questions about the customer profile, though. Okay, so I don't think I see any questions. Okay, so I'll move on, but I'll still look out. Okay, no questions right now. Okay, good. So why Shopify? There are other platforms. Oh, thank you so much. There are other platforms that you can definitely do drop shipping on. However, Shopify is really, well, in my personal opinion, the best website platform for it. And this is the perfect time because they are doing a 90-day free trial. Mine was only 14 days, so I'm very jealous of everyone who gets a 90-day free trial. And after that, it's $29 a month. So this gives you time to up your marketing and really get a feel for drop shipping. So take advantage of that time. You will want to get a domain, and a domain is www.yourwebsite.com. So mine is www.thejetsetmogul.com, and that's $14 a year. I was reading the history of Shopify, and it was actually made by two guys who needed a website that integrated well with e-commerce. And it's an interesting story, but they found that they really had a viable tool. So they made it more open to everyone to access. And the reason why it is one of the popular websites is because of the variety of tools that they have, such as the inventory tracker. It's very customer service oriented. Basically, when you do your drop shipping, you just have to click a button to fulfill the order. And there's so many marketing enhancements that you can use. There's also expansion opportunities, again, through the sales channels. The apps help to enhance as well. So it helps like to manage your inventory. And you see at the bottom, the abandoned cart recovery, which we'll speak about a little bit. And with you also have a point of sale system, which means that you can use the Shopify payment system in person or online. And the beauty about Shopify is that even if you have your drop shipping business connected, you can also still get inventory from other sites and add that to your website, and it'll still be no problem. It'll integrate seamlessly. You can also list unlimited products. And I should have put here that you can also have a blog as well if you so choose. It's not necessary, but if you wanted to have a blog, you can have that as well. So here are some Shopify key must-haves, and most of these things will be done for you. I might just ask for your feedback, especially when it comes to your refund policy and your shipping policy, because that should come straight for you, but I can give you at least a template, and then of course I'll put that on your site. So first, you want to pick your website design theme. You'll want to choose your payment methods. You'll want to set up your shipping rules, whether it's free, whether you have to pay for it. And then, of course, the amount of time that you want to stay. Sometimes I give a little cushion for the shipping as well, just to make sure that there are no issues. And in case there are issues, I have time to resolve it. You want to secure your custom domain website. So it does come with a free website, but I don't really suggest the free one because it'll say myshopify.thejetsetmogul.com, which really is not attractive. So you want to have your branded website. And again, I think that's $14 for the year. You'll also want to create your business email. Now you can use Gmail if you wish. I wanted personally to have, so let's see, so you can use Shopify instead of GoDaddy for the website. Yes, you can. So that takes care of everything, the templates, the design, everything. I think that answered your question. If not, let me know. So with your business email, I prefer to have my own personal domain instead of the jetsetmogul@gmail.com, but I'll leave that to your personal preference, whatever you want to do. Next, you'll want to establish your store policies. Again, privacy policy, which I'll give you the template. Just make sure you look over it to see if that applies to your store. Your refund policy, shipping policy. And here are some important web pages. So you'll have the About Us page, which you'll probably write yourself because it'll be your own personal story. Contact Us, FAQs, terms and conditions, and optional, which is the disclaimer that I have on my website. But it's not, it just depends on what you want to do. I just put it in for protection's sake. With the abandoned cart recovery, I'm not sure if you personally experienced this, but if you go to, say, a product page, you have it in your cart, and you decide not to buy it, and then you get this stalkerish email saying, hey, you forgot this particular product, that's what abandoned cart recovery is. It reminds your customer that that they still have this in the cart, it's waiting for them to buy. Some people have incorporated they have a discount in place to get people to buy in that abandoned cart recovery email. And finally, you just want to make sure that you review all of the settings before launching. So we are going to go through the Shopify walkthrough right now. So let's see, I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so let me know if you see the Shopify. Oh, I might have to switch back. I hope you can see it. Let me know if you can see it. I'm gonna switch over, look in the chat, and then I'll switch back over because I can't see the chat right now. So I'm gonna look back in the chat. Let me know if you could see it before I switch back over. Okay, great, great, great. Okay, so you won't have to do this part, but I do want to walk you through because I'll set up your site for you. So when you come to this website, you'll see Start, Sell, Market, and Manage. And so when you start, you'll see different tabs, such as branding. So you can do a business name generator. They now have where you have stock photography, which I do need to write down to make sure to send you after this is over. I will be using stock photography for your site, but in case you want to use it for your social media platforms, it's always a great tool to have. I use a lot of stock photography for Black women moguls, and you can also use videos, excuse me, as well. So with the store setup, there are products to sell. I'll go right here just for a moment. So this is where you'll see the Oberlo setup, and it shows you how it works. So you find products, free of inventory, free of packaging, and then it just walks you through the steps. It's really simple. And it says it has 85 million products sold. Here are some reviews. So we won't go into that. I'll let you explore on your own, but they have a really great blog where they have interviews, they have tutorials. They also have a drop shipping guide as well that you might want to look at as you get started. So we're going to go ahead and go to the store themes. And for your homework, I'm going to ask that you look at the themes. I'll give you my top two, and I'll tell you what I did for my personal theme as well. For mine, I actually paid for it because I was in a crunch for time. I didn't really feel like designing it fully, which that won't be the case for you. Whatever you pick, of course, I will take my time with it. So I think I paid about $140. I can't remember the theme I used, only because sometimes when you pay for the theme, it does give you some more features. However, the two top themes that are free that I like are, let's see, it's Brooklyn right here. Let me see if I can, okay, so that's pulling up. So you can view the demo. And since then I have learned some hacks for the website. So if you go through with a free theme, you're not missing anything hardly. So you can see right here, different categories. And then you can see how that is laid out. So that's Brooklyn. And then the other theme, let me see. I think it's boundless, but let me check really quick. I think it is boundless, so we'll look at that. But again, you can play around with the themes. And one thing I'll ask you to do is to look at a few websites that you like, and that way I can modify it to your preference. Because again, I know a lot more about website building on Shopify, and this is what I do professionally. So just let me know. And then of course we'll go back and forth to make sure it's the site that you like. So here's another, the boundless theme as well. Okay, so going back to the main page. Okay, so under sale, you can see the different features that they have. And here's the point of sale right here. So you might want to explore that as well. Under market, this basically just talking about marketing. Facebook ads might be something you want to look in later. That's something I do not teach. I'm still playing around and experiencing with my own Facebook ads, but it can be a powerful tool to reach your customers, especially when you put in the right demographics. It's a learning curve to Facebook ads, but when you put in the right demographics, such as their age, similar pages to you. Actually, I might show you. We're good on time. I'm going to show you the back end of Black Women Moguls Facebook page so you can see. It's easier. I'm a visual person, so it might be easier to see what I'm speaking about. So let me put that there. Facebook ads. But that is a learning curve, and you just want to make sure that you're not wasting your money when you're doing that. And so manage as well. You can see payments, shipping, and capital. And then under the Learn tab, you can see their blog, their academy. They have so many guides, forums, and podcasts. And I know in Atlanta they have a Shopify meetup. I'm not sure. I'm sure they have to have it elsewhere as well. So I would definitely look up for Shopify meetups. So now we're going to go into the store. There's the home tab, which we'll go to in a minute, but I wanted to show you the orders tab. So you can see where you can click all. You can see where there are orders open. You can see that so this was my first order to myself where I was ordering samples for the products because I wanted to see it personally. So you can see where I was partially refunded for my order because they didn't have some of the products in stock, and partially fulfilled meant that I received some of the products. And then you can see who has unpaid as well. So let me go over here to see if there are any questions. Okay, so no questions just yet. Okay, so right here you can see this is when you'll first go in. You'll see the sessions for the day. You'll see the total sales that you made. You'll see when you're going to get paid the next day. So the estimated payout is for tomorrow. Right here is where you'll manage all of your products under the products tab. And so this will be done for you. You'll write your descriptions, but this I'll insert it to the products for you. And when you have the website in your care, you'll just basically click the product. You'll see, well, for me, I put more options because there are several options. This is not a good example of a product description. You want to have at least a sentence, and then you can talk about the material and the chain type. So don't follow this example. Make sure you have at least a sentence that has keywords about the product itself. And then once you turn it over, I might just optimize it a little bit more for your website. So right here, you can see where the product is available. So it is available on the online store, Instagram, and Facebook. It's telling me that it's not enabled for Facebook marketing and Amazon, but it is available on eBay. And then here is where you'll manage the different types. So you can see there's a silver, a gold, black, and gold as well. And then you can add it to collections right here, which makes it show up on the particular page. Okay, so let me go home. Right here is where you'll see your customers list and their information. Analytics is where you will see the total sales, the online store sales, the returning customer rate. You'll see your online conversion rate. And so you'll see how this right here is showing how many people have added to your cart, how many people have reached checkout, and how many sessions have been converted to the final pay. And so with the marketing tab, you'll see different ways that you can market to your customers. So you can set up Facebook marketing, which I should do, and then you can set up Google Shopping. And one thing that I'm getting ahead of myself, but one thing you should also do is set up your profile on Google as well, which makes it more easy to find you. Under the discounts tab, you can have any discounts that you want. So if you want to have a special sale, and then here is the App Store. So you see I have Facebook marketing there, Oberlo, and these others. And Klaviyo right here is where you'll have, that'll be your email marketing system. So let me go back to see if there are any questions. Okay, so how do you get customers to your site? Okay, so you get customers to your site a variety of ways. You can, of course, word of mouth. You can talk about, speak on Instagram, Facebook, social media. One way to get people on your customer list is by giving people love a discount. So 10, 15%, 20% is even better. People will sign up for your for your offer if it's an enticing something. So when people say sign up for my store to get the latest updates, people really don't care about the latest updates. They really want to know what's in it for them. So if you're saying you're having a special, if you're saying get 10%, 15%, 20% off your first order, that will draw them in. And then also by having engaging content as well, no matter where you post on social media or in person. Even at networking events, you can say, hey, I have this store. So those are several ways you can get customers to your site. But I will have a plan for you as well of how that will happen. And then also through the abandoned cart recovery is the one way if they haven't bought to retarget them. So let me know if I need to make that a little bit more clear. Okay, so going back to the platform, online store is where you will see your website when it decides to come up. Okay, so here it is. And you'll see where it says customize. And let's see, what theme? I don't know if it shows what theme I chose. Oh, I think it's the debut theme. So that was like 140, 180, I think. But again, for the free store, I can definitely convert it to what you need it to, what you want it to look like. So here you can you can see where it says, oh, I'm sorry, no, it's the icon theme, icon. The debut is the default theme. So you can rename it, you can duplicate it, which some people do suggest you duplicate the site. So if you make a mistake on your first site, you can always default back to the original. Then you can download the theme file. You won't have to worry about editing code. That's more so for web designers. Here's where you'll manage your blog posts if you decide to have it. So you'll see I have some posts about travel. You'll see different pages. And so this is where your About Us page, the disclaimer, the FAQs, wish list, and other things will go. And that's basically all you need to know about this. So let me go back over. Okay, no more questions right now. And settings. So this is the page where you really want to take your time to go through everything. I'll walk you through most of it, but some of the things might just depend on your personal preference. So under the general is where I have the store name. And it has the address right here and the currency. Payment providers, which we spoke about a little bit earlier. There is Shopify and PayPal. And I want to go through, let's see, alternative payments. Another way to get customers to your site, this might help as well, is Afterpay right here and Sezzle. And so if you're not familiar with that, it's where it's basically it's not credit, but it allows people to pay for their products in 4 different ways. So Boohoo has it. Um, a lot of the big name companies, such as I think Bobby Boss has it, Mac has it now. So say if the order is $100, they have 4 times to pay $25 as opposed to $100 right then and there. So that's really attractive to customers. So that's another way you can promote your store. So with the checkout, let's see, let me bring that over. With the checkout, it just talks about your online checkout process. I suggest that you can do required, but have an optional account where people can choose whether they want to have an account or check out as a guest. They can check out through these various ways. So you just want to look through all of this to see what you want specifically. Full name, just the general customer information. How do you want the order to be processed? Email marketing, and then there's the abandoned cart checkout that I was mentioning. Okay, so shipping is pretty self-explanatory, so I'll just cover this briefly. Here are the different types that you can, this is more so if you have like products in inventory, so it doesn't really matter per se, but you can set your shipping rates as well under this. Taxes will depend on, well, it depends on if you charge it or not. There is a rule. I'm not a tax professional, so you'll just want to check the rules for your specific area. But you can see that I am collecting it. So you just basically click edit right here for taxes. You can choose not to have taxes. You can have gift cards if you want to choose, if you wanted to have people give it as a gift. Here are notifications. Just one moment. Okay, so you can see all of the notifications that are sent out to the customer. And it just depends on what you want to have. So again, it's very customer friendly to make sure that they are aware of everything in the journey. So plans and permissions is basically managing the staff. If you choose to have someone else with you. Just one second. Okay, there we go. Your plan details, staff, and then if you ever want to pause your store, you can do that, but you can't, and you still have to unfortunately pay something per month to keep it open, because once you sell or close your store, it's done and you have to start all over. Okay, and billing is where you will see all of your invoices. So it is a good idea, and then again, this is completely up to you, to register your business with your local entity. So here in Georgia, it's the Secretary of State, and that is $100 for the first year and then $50 each month. But there are some people who want to try it out first as a hobby and see if they want to make it a full-time business. So that is completely up to you, but I do have mine protected with the Secretary of State. It also prevents liability later on as well. And then finally is the legal page, and this is where you'll see about your privacy policies, terms and conditions, and a refund policy. So that is the basic overview of Shopify. I'm going to see if there are more questions. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment. Do you have to pay a percentage to use alternative pay methods? There is a process for the alternative pay methods. I think yes, you do have to pay a percentage. I'm not familiar. I have to see how much they take. I don't think it was that much because I was going to add it to my site as well, but it's been a while since I've looked it up. So I'll put that on my list to find and get an answer to you. But I know there is a process. They want to know how fast your shipping is. So that was a problem at first, but now that I found the alternative methods to expedite shipping, I don't think it should be a problem. They also want to know like the just different information about you, what you have in the store as well. So yes, so you will have to pay a percentage, but I'll let you know the exact one. Actually, let me see if I can find it really quick. I'll look at my account and I'll definitely get an answer back to you. Are there any other questions? I'm going to try to pull up my Facebook ads really quick, and this might help you with your target market as well, because to see how I have it classified. Okay, one moment. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, good. Okay, so I am going to my Facebook page profile for Black Women Moguls because it has the most traffic on it as far as Facebook ads and in general. Okay, so this is the back end of Black Women Moguls page, and I am going to go to Ads Manager. Okay, almost there. Okay, here we go. So you can see my budget per day. You can see the impressions I've had. You can see the total, the reach I've had, which is 190,000 people. Impressions, 274,000. So you'll definitely want to take that course on Shopify's platform to get more acquainted with Facebook ads and the metrics. You can definitely ask me questions, but again, I am no expert when it comes to it. Let me go into a campaign. Let's see. I think this was a good one. Let me go back one moment. Didn't do the edit. So my objective was with this particular campaign was video views, but if you scroll down, it's actually under this one. You'll see how I broke out my target market. Actually, sorry, it's been a while. And they change things all the time. Let me see. No, it should have been under this one. Okay, so here it is, but it's not really broke. Oh, there it is. Okay, they changed it a little bit. So my apologies. So here it is, Black Women Moguls ideal customer. I expanded a little bit. It usually should be more specific than 25 to 54. One time I had 60, but I just had it just to reach more people. So of course the gender is female. Their interests are happy Black woman, Carol's daughter, Essence, Oprah Winfrey, entrepreneurship, Chanel Cooper Sykes. She's a business coach, business, Black Enterprise, Forbes, and their behavior is small business. So based off of that, this was the audience definition that I had, and the estimated results to reach people was 1.2K to 3.4K. So this is just one example of how I use my customer profile to target my ideal audience. So let me go back. Okay, so that is all I have for you. Let me go back to the PowerPoint so I can tell you your homework, and I'll entertain more questions if you have them. Let's see, one moment. So I'm going to put your homework there. Let me know if you see it in the chat. I don't know if you can see it because it says it's sharing, but I don't see it personally. So let me know if you see the homework in the chat or the homework worksheet. Okay, good. So for homework, I want you to choose your store name. The link that I gave you, or however it shows up for you, that's where you'll complete your customer profile worksheet and submit. And also at the bottom of it should be fillable. So let me know if you have trouble. But once you hover over the question, or not the question, the blank, it should show up as fillable where you can type in right then and there. Submit that. There is a button at the bottom of it where it'll take you to your website onboarding questionnaire. And that way I can start building your website and get that over to you. And it'll just ask you about the colors, what you want on the site as well. Also, I want you to take a look at the products or think about the products that you're going to have. Oh, yes, it's fillable. I want you to think about the products you're going to have in your store. That way I can come up with a few vendors that you may want to look at. And then also I'm going to walk you through the process of how I look for products to add to the store. And then again, just choose your theme and send the form so I can start your website. So I'll ask if there are any more questions, and feel free to always email me. If you're my friend on Facebook, feel free to DM me at any time. So I don't think there are any questions, but I'll give it a moment. Sometimes there is a delay. Okay, so the due date, that's a good question. Let me look in the packet. Just one second. And no, you didn't miss it. I'm sorry, I should have had that there. I think it's the the Tuesday before, to give me time to look over it, but let me verify really quickly. Okay, one moment. So by April 14th, which is, yep, the Tuesday. So just wanted to make sure before I gave the wrong information. Even if if that Wednesday, that's fine too. But I just want to make sure that I have time to put just together the products as well. So just let me know if you need extra time. All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining. And I hope this was a not so overwhelming overview for you. I know it's a lot to take in, but there's some things like I said, I wish I would have known in the beginning. So I wanted to make sure that I gave you everything so you know going forward what to expect. So thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next Thursday. I'll send the PowerPoint slides and the homework again, just in case you need it, in the email coming up. I'm going to work on that right now. Okay, good. It was gentle. Good. Well, thank you so much. So I will talk to you next week. Bye.